Welcome guys, thank you so much for joining in. So today in this video, I'm actually going to show you a very interesting scenario unfolding right now with Bitcoin price action and also with Ethereum, because if we start our analysis by looking at this price structure here of Bitcoin in a 4-hour time frame, you can see this price movement what we are witnessing. This is a very important price level, because this trend line here, which previously acted as a resistance, right, is now acting as a support. So we want to find out what exactly is happening around this price level, because this price movement here, this breakout, let's be honest and call this breakout an Elon Musk breakout. And after this Elon Musk breakout, you can see the price came back to the upper line area, which previously acted as a resistance and now also acting as a support. So is this some sort of a confirmation to head in an upper direction? Because in many cases, for example, let's look at this as an descending triangle. So if you look at this as a descending triangle, this breakout does looks like this here. This price breakout looks like this here, coming back to retest this upper line area to break in an upper direction. So in most of the cases, we usually take long after price breaks this neckline area again. So in our case right now, this is the neckline area. So for price to reach to that level, there are some obstacle on our way. So first, let's look at the price level to the upside. If we are going to continue, and if this is going to be a reversal, then what are our downward target level? And also guys, I would really appreciate if you could take 2 seconds of your time and smash the like button. And for those individuals watching this video for the first time, guys, hit the subscribe button and bell. So now if you look at this price level, look at this trend line here or this trend line, right? You can see there are some very important level to look for, because what we are witnessing, those lines here is a very strong area of support and resistance, because you can see this trend line which previously acted as a resistance, support, right? You can see support all the time, and also resistance here did acted as a resistance. And you can see price here after reaching this 34,500 area, we saw some sort of a rejection, and now we are finding some difficulty to continue in an upper direction. So if the price of Bitcoin wants to continue in an upper direction, guys, then the price here has to find support above this trend line area, this key level area, which is around 34,500. So if we are going to find support above this level, then our trend is going to head in an upper direction to our next target, which would be around 37,700 price level. But you can see this trend line must be broken and price must find support above this 34,500 price level. And if that's going to happen, guys, then this could also be a continuation pattern to the upside. And if this price is not going to continue in an upper direction and we are going to see rejection or a pullback scenario, then we should also be ready to see price to retest this lower line area. The lower line is where we could be heading, because we know exactly this lower line is a very strong support. You can see around the 30,000 price level, right? So in between, we don't have any proper support. And why this pullback here around 30,000 must be taken into consideration is because if we look at this indicator here, this dead cross and golden cross indicator, I've already talked about this scenario here on my previous video, but still, if you look at this dead cross right now, right, this dead cross usually indicates the trend should head in a downward direction. We did saw a dead cross, but after the dead cross, you can see the price saw some pullback and then a move in an upper direction. And now we are witnessing some sort of a rejection to continue in an upper direction. So what is happening? Because if you look at this previous example of this golden cross and dead cross, for example, if you look at this here, after this dead cross, price also headed in an upper direction, but then what happened? You can see a correction followed right after that. So you can see another example for dead cross. After this dead cross, price headed in upper direction, and after that a price pullback occurred. So now let's go backwards here to see another example. You can see here, guys, after this dead cross, price did headed in an upper direction, and after that a correction followed. So what I'm actually trying to say you here is that this dead cross is still in place, and possibility of price to actually retest the lower line area again, which is going to be around this 30,000 price level. So if you look at this in a bit different way, what we can also do is we can look at this price structure in a daily time frame, because if we look at this scenario in a daily time frame, similar price structure, I mean, we broke out of this upper line area, and now this price pullback here is flashing a very interesting scenario. You can see this very clearly. This price movement here, what we are witnessing in a daily candle, if this support is not going to be there, right? If this is not going to hold the price, then there is a very likely scenario that we could again re-enter this descending triangle towards this lower end area of 30,000 price level. Because if this price level wants to move in an upper direction, we must close above this resistance line around 34,500 price level. And why? Because you can see here this price movement here, could also be making a really nice double bottom type of scenario, guys. And according to this, if we want to continue properly in an upper direction, then the neckline must be broken, and the neckline is also around this 34,500. so that's why I was talking about, if we could find support above this 34,500, then there is a likely scenario of price going to continue further in an upper direction. You can see the upper target here is around 37,700 price level, and the next target is going to be almost like around 40,000 and the 41,500 price level. So you want to look at this in a bit different way. It doesn't matter, because going back to the 4-hour time frame, so what we could also do here in a 4-hour time frame is add this Fibonacci retracement from this swing low till this swing high area to see where the price of Bitcoin could be heading. So you know, at this golden pocket 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, this is almost like where we found a support, right? So this price pullback could again bring us around this 32,700 price level. So if this is also not going to hold the price, this 618, then as I've already said you guys, the lower line area around this 30,000 could be playing out as well. So these are some scenarios to take into consideration. And now let's also have a quick look at Ether price action, guys. So before I switch into the other chart, guys, I just want to make you aware that we still have the $620 bonus available right now if you use my Bybit link here, because this is only for limited time. You just have to follow some simple steps. I have written it down all for you. And also, if you look at this bonus structure here, if you deposit 0.01 Bitcoin, you are eligible to claim this $115 bonus. Or if you deposit 0.05 Bitcoin, you are going to claim this $150 bonus. Or let's say if you are going to deposit 1.5 Bitcoin, then you are eligible to claim this $600 bonus completely free. So what you can do is, after your initial deposit, after claiming this bonus structure, you can withdraw your initial deposit. So you are only going to play with this bonus structure you just received from Bybit that was completely free. So even if the trend is going to go against you, this was actually the free money, right? So why not to take advantage of this opportunity? So now let's look at this Ether USD chart. So now looking at this Ether USD, what we can do, guys, is we can use this trend line here to the upside and also this support here to the downside, because this here now looks like very nice ascending triangle, because according to this ascending triangle, the price here has already shown some rejection after reaching the upper line area, and also the lower line area acted as a very strong support. So now, since we are approaching the end point here, the price of Ether must choose a trend direction. It could be either to the upside, it could also be to the downside. So we want to know if this is going to see a breakout here to the upside. Our target here would clearly be around this level here. So if, let's say, if this breakout is going to take place, then the upper target here is going to be around this 1,872, 1,900 price level for Ether, right? If this is going to act as a ascending triangle breakout. But if we look at this in a bit different way, I will be looking at this as an ascending triangle in this manner. So you can see this was an ascending triangle, right? This another one is also an ascending triangle, because we know the lower line here has also acted as a support here, right? You can see support. So this lower line could also be acting as a support. So I'm actually expecting, if we are going to see any sort of rejection from this trend line here, right, then we could also be getting gravitated toward the lower line area, which could be around 1,200 or even 1,180 price level. So if this is going to happen, then this is still an ascending triangle scenario. It might take longer than expected before choosing a possible trend direction. And if this breakout is going to happen right from this point, then I would be again looking at the upper target area of 1,750 price level. But let's say if this is not going to play out as a ascending triangle, and the price of Ether is going to see rejection from both the line, this rising trend line, and also the lower line area of this ascending triangle from both the one, right, and we are going to see a move in this manner, then what are our lower price target? Because if this is going to play out like this way, what we can do is we can also look at this in a 4-hour time frame, because in a 4-hour time frame, you know, we have already talked about this scenario in my previous video. This ascending channel has also played a very important role here in a 4-hour time frame, because you can see upper line acted as a very strong resistance and lower line acted as a very strong support. So right now, if you look at this price structure, if this is going to see any sort of a rejection, then we could also expect this lower line here acting as a very strong support for Ether, this lower line of this ascending channel, which could also be around this 1,150, 1,140 price level, right? And this is still going to be a higher lows, because if you look at this previous example, you can see this is still a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern. So you have to take that scenario into consideration. And if this is not going to play out like what I just showed you with the daily time frame, then we can also see in a 4-hour time frame this price movement here is also making a very nice ascending triangle. If I delete this upper line, you can see in a 4-hour time frame, this price movement is also approaching a very interesting scenario right now, because this is also an ascending triangle. And if this is going to take place, right, if this scenario is going to take place, now the upper target here could be around, again, this 1750, 1770 price level, which I just showed you with the second example. And if this is going to fake out, right, if this is not going to move in an upper direction, then we should take this lower line area of this ascending channel also as a support line here to the downside. Because if Bitcoin sees any sort of a rejection, I mean, if the price of Bitcoin tends to get gravitated towards the lower line area of 30,000, then there is also very likely scenario that price of Ether could also be pulled here towards the lower line area of this ascending channel. So this here, this around this 1150, 1160 could be a screaming buy opportunity. And if you look at this scenario in a bit different way, you can also look at this chart. We have talked about this scenario plenty of time. I told you guys, if we are actually going to find support around this 1350, there is a likely scenario of price heading in an upper direction. And you can see the price also headed to the target area which we talked about, 1440. We got a rejection, and now we are finding support at this trend line area of 1350, and this is actually absolutely fine, because this is what we also wanted, the previous resistance line acting as a support. So if we are going to find support, then the upper target again is going to be 1440, right? And if we are also going to break here to the upside, you know, 1600 is going to be our target here according to this descending broadening wedge. And also with this previous example, 1770 is going to be our target, and also this 1800 to 1900 is going to be our upper target area. So let's see which one is going to play out. So any sort of a rejection, you can see 1250, also this 1140. With this example, 1140 price level here, right around this area, this could be acting as a very, very strong support for Ether. So these are some of the example I wanted to share with you in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this video was helpful enough. If that's the case, guys, hit the like button. Also, if you're watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye.